Okay, third installment of NJ to the City News. Indeed. So, third installment for tonight, that is. You can obviously see by the background, the blatant background, the lighting, and was it a sweater, but definitely the first two, that this is definitely the third video of the night. So, one of the top things I want everybody to understand is that with my social media activity, let alone with probably even still some of my YouTube activity, but definitely with some of my Twitter activity. You got to realize that I had a middle school account back in 2012, 2013. I had a middle school account that was USA theme based, and you got to realize that back then I didn't know all the ins and outs, do's and do nots of how to post, what to post, and the questions to even ask. And so that's why if you ever find that account, which is not hard to find it, but if you ever find it, that's why you might see some things that like this guy's preaching God and Jesus in church, but he's also asking this question, that question, of which he probably shouldn't be asking, online, which is one of my old middle school friends, and if not acquaintances, I would call him a friend after all these years. One of my old middle school friends, man named Christian. I never forget. He had messaged me, or underneath that one of those tweets, and he's like, "Nate, you don't ask questions like that on online, and so on." And that's something I want everybody to understand. I'm a completely godly different person today than what I was in middle school. But again, just like almost anybody in middle school, let alone in late elementary and even high school, we do not, and even way past that, you have grown people on social media acting like goofballs. Grown people way older than me talking and talking just all belligerent, all ignorant, all crazy, and so on. I just want people to understand, if you ever do find that account, let alone if you are on my main one, which is NJ to the City with a number two, and you still find, if you ever do scroll down and you see some tweets that from the last how many years, and if not just the last few months, because I understand a lot of people might do that just so they can try to toy with me, just so they can try to ruin me. I do want people to understand, I don't shy away from explaining anything that I've ever posted on social media, anything I've ever posted on SoundCloud, anything I've ever posted on any platform that it was. I don't really shy away from explaining it. And one of the top things I want people to understand is some of this stuff is from, again, when I had less maturity than I have now. A lot of this stuff, if not some of this stuff, was from times where like I said, I was back in middle school and I didn't know all the ins and outs of social media, so I was asking some stupid questions. If it not just saying some really ignorant things, and so on. And that's partially how it went and partially how it goes. And same thing with YouTube. I've been on YouTube I think since 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Even YouTube has been something where I haven't always represented myself the best. To where some of these videos you're gonna look down and you'll be like, he said this, he did what now, and etc. But overall, it's me telling my story for the most part, and just me growing and maturing over these last 4 or 5 years. And I hope that everybody's able to, when they search through my YouTube, search through my SoundCloud, search through my whatever it is, whatever platform, whatever vice it is, I'm hoping that people are willing to have that maturity within themselves. Because regardless of whether you do, I can explain everything in that simple format of, yeah, that was posted like how many years ago, and I'm how old now, and I have this and that. I have more maturity. So I mean, don't embarrass yourself trying to bring something negatively up to try to ruin me. But just let you know, if you do, I can explain almost anything and everything. For example, especially with women's fashion, if you look at my Twitter from the last 2 summers, if not summer 18, it was a fashion of like, I was reposting a lot of women's fashion, a lot. And if you look back at those retweets and you look underneath the comments, I was always retweeting, or I was always commenting under new song title, new album title, women's empowerment stuff. So that's what this whole thing has to do with the whole NJ to the City brand. Everything that I've done on social media for at least a good in the 90 percentile, if not 80 percentile, I can explain what I was doing. I can explain what I was thinking. I can explain what grade I was in probably. I can explain it, and if not explain it, I can at least ask for forgiveness for it, and let's move on to a Jesus Christ better tomorrow through Christ which strengthens us. Because we're not going to get anywhere by bringing up tweets from 5 years ago, and holding that against you today. Because I can assure you, if you're someone that does that type of crap, who brings up something that I tweeted from 5 years ago, let alone 2 years ago, or whatever the case might be, to try to ruin me, I mean it when I'm telling you, when I say this, that I don't need your respect, and I'm not gonna, beat my head, or beat myself over the head, to get your respect. At 22 years old, that's one of the top things that I'm totally telling myself that I've got to discipline myself to do. Is I gotta discipline myself to focus more on the love and ignore the BS. And part of the BS is people trying to bring back up old tweets or old videos or old captions or old whatever, to try to ruin you. You know, if you're that type of person, then God bless your soul, because I ain't got time for that stuff. I'm building a brand. I'm trying to serve more children. I'm trying to, own it to the best of my God-given will and abilities. Let's get it, and so on. But yeah, Enter to the City News, like, it covers way more than just sports. But to get into the little sports right quick, I want people to understand my grade for the Jaguars draft. I couldn't fully grade it, but I can assure you we definitely got some pretty, great guys that I'm looking forward to seeing take over and take on their new roles. It's definitely a youth movement in Jacksonville, and I look forward to hopefully all those guys making the roster. And once again, I have family ties in Mississippi, so seeing a couple of those Mississippi guys, from, I think, Yazoo, and from Clinton, if I'm not mistaken, Mississippi. To see a couple of those guys go in the draft was a blessing in disguise. One of them went to the I think the Yazoo guy, or wherever part of Mississippi he's from. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, in the fourth round. And the Cam Akers guy, I think he went to L.A. The running back from Florida State. He went in, I think, the second, if not third round, to them. And so I want people to understand, I was super excited to see that towards the Mississippi ties of things. And then guys like Shaq Quarterman, I'm super excited for him. Oakleaf is like literally one of my top favorite schools these days to just root for. And one of the top reasons why is because I've always had an infatuation with Clay County. I've always wanted to go over there more and visit the sites, visit the scenery, and study the culture more. And I've always wanted to get more involved in Clay County. And by God's grace, this upcoming school year, I'm totally gonna get more involved with it, spreading the brand, branching out, showing everybody God's love, and just building the best that we can, just as building the best city that we can. I never forget meeting your athletic director, if not your retired athletic director, at the Creekside track meet. So everybody from the Oakleaf track team knows exactly, track and field team knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'll never forget meeting a couple of your track and field athletes there, and meeting your athletic director there, Oakleaf High School, at the Creekside track meet. I was there representing Nice, obviously, but I'll never forget doing that. I'll never forget meeting your athletic director, meeting a couple of your student athletes, and you guys were phenomenal. And like I say, and Oakleaf now, it definitely has like a permanent place, I would say, in my heart. They're like, you guys are like my new favorite high school, top five, I would say, top five on that list somewhere. And Nice is always number one, but you guys are like definitely top five. You guys are my new favorite, and to see that Shaq Quarterman not only got drafted to Jaguars, but to know he's from Clay County, he's from Oakleaf High School. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to hear that, to know that, and again, think that's one good thing the team has done when it comes to some of their drafting over these last few years and so on. I mean, I got my opinion on the team's draft positions over the last few years, let alone their free agency pickups and etc. But I'm very thankful that Shaq Quarterman is now getting an opportunity to perform for, I would presume, it's probably his hometown team, and so on, and getting a chance to stay local at the same time, and as well. And I hopefully look forward to meeting Shaq one of these days. And I'm pretty sure Oakleaf, the area of Oakleaf is gotta be pretty happy for him. Y'all gotta know who he is, or remember who he is now. Even if you didn't, you definitely gotta know who he is now, because his name has gotta be buzzing around the entire plantation, of Oakleaf plantation. You guys gotta be buzzing about, hey, our guy got drafted, and he got drafted to Jaguar, so he's staying local, and so I'm very excited for that. And like I said, I look forward to meeting Shaq eventually and just congratulating him on just everything. I didn't scout him in high school, didn't scout him in college, but to know that he's gotten to know that he got drafted to the Jaguars and he's from Oakleaf, I'm tremendously blessed to hear that, to know that, to see that, and for that, I can definitely say thank you, David Caldwell, for that. I have my critiques of you as a GM for many reasons, but thank you for doing right when it comes to something like that. Thank you very much. And like I said, I would not have mind seeing this quarterback or that quarterback, added to the roster for various reasons. But again, I love Gardner Minshew, so don't ever think I don't love Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew, and so on and so on. But obviously, I understand that certain high-profile quarterbacks would have created unnecessary competition or unnecessary hype around the quarterback room when you needed it to stay low key in Gardner's team for the season. So I understand why you didn't. Well, you're still not, at least for now, still haven't signed Cam. Didn't try to sign Andy, or you did try to sign Andy, but he went to Dallas, and so on and so on. Because I understand somehow, like I told people like my dad and so on, certain high profile guys, if they bring in, it's not going to be the same as if you brought in a low profile dude. Mike Glennon is a low profile dude. He's not some dude that has had sustainable NFL success as a starter. He's had NFL starter experience, but not sustainable NFL success. So bringing him in isn't really going to ruffle any feathers. And nobody really expects him to take over the job and start. Period, for the most part. A guy like Andy Dalton, if Garner struggles, somebody is probably going to expect him like, hey, Andy, or even Cam, especially with guys like Stephen A saying, if he's healthy, he's starting, and so on. And it's amazing because it's like, is most of the league or half the league blind to what Gardner Minshew did last season? Why is everybody, counting Gardner out as he can't play? Like, do you not see what he just did last season? Give the guy a chance. And especially if Gardner does light it up this upcoming season, we're either not going to get a high pick, or even if we do, we're going to trade that pick. Because I do believe Garner's our guy. I would love to get Justin Fields, but I'm not going to lie. Garner's our guy. I love Garner. And that pick couldn't have fell more out of heaven for us than anything else, because Gardner Minshew, like I said before, from his Mississippi ties, and playing for my hometown team, let alone getting drafted by my hometown team, that could have been more God's plan than anything else, or at least in my spiritual sense, it's God's plan, and down to earth is just pure luck, because I'm telling you, I don't think the Jaguars knew he was even going to get on the field, let alone was that good, and he proved what he proved when he got on the field, and here we are today. So with that being said, like, God bless Shaq Quarterman, God bless Oakley. Like I said, I look forward to going out there and implementing myself into you guys' culture, eventually learning from your culture and building up more with your Oakleaf culture, and seeing where I can once again be interactive and just help spread God, help spread Jesus, consistently more, and active, being godly, proactive, and so on and so on. You get the point, especially seeing not only this video but seeing other videos, and Oakleaf is definitely considered another home for me. And I look forward to, again, injecting myself in there and seeing where I can help out godly. And NJ to the City News, like I said, I'm going to be talking about a lot of things on NJ to the City News, more than just sports, but I'm definitely going to assure you that it's definitely my premier platform for talking about more sports than ever before. And we're going to talk about a lot of sports, from the pros to high school to middle school to 10U, Little League. I don't care, you name it. If I got something to say about it, we're going to grow with it. So God first, one was an shame. Thank you all for listening, watching, and subscribing. It's me, your boy, NJ to the City, for NJ to the City News. Peace.